Hi everybody! Today's book that I wanted to share with you is The Princess and the Wizard, and that's a Julia Donaldson book, and the illustrator is Lydia Monks. And I'm just going to share the blurb with you. It says, "The princess may try 7 times to escape by changing her colour and changing her shape. Can Princess Eliza find a way to outwit the wicked wizard before it's too late?" And it's a magical tale of colours and camouflage from the best-selling creators of Sharing a Shell and the Princess Mirabelle stories. And it's interesting because I actually shared Sharing a Shell with you a couple of days ago on the video, so I don't know if you get to see that one as well. And it's a sparkly rhyming couplets, so we'll see lots of rhyming words in Julia Donaldson's The Princess and the Wizard. It was Princess Eliza's birthday, and she was just blowing out the 7 candles on her cake when a wicked wizard flew down the chimney and into the room. "Why didn't you invite me to your party?" he thundered. "Because wicked wizards like turning people into stone," replied Princess Eliza. "So they do," said the wizard, and with a flick of his bony fingers he turned the king, the queen and all the party guests into stone. Then he laughed a horrible laugh and said to Princess Eliza, "They like capturing princesses too." And there's all the guests turned into stone. Nice book, it's got some sparkly illustrations in this. Just then there was a whirring of wings, and in through the window flew the Princess Fairy Godmother. She was late for the party. When she saw what had happened, she waved her wand and said, "The princess may try 7 times to escape by changing her colour and changing her shape." The wizard just laughed his horrible laugh and said, "Changing her colour and changing her shape will never help Princess Eliza escape." Then he snapped his bony fingers again and turned the fairy godmother into stone. Look at that, so now even the fairy godmother's turned to stone. The wizard whisked the princess up the chimney and carried her away to his tall, dark castle. He locked her into the cellar, where she cried herself to sleep. The next day was Monday, and the wizard unlocked the cellar door. He was holding the big red book which contained all his magic. "This is your first chance to escape," he said. "I shall count to 100. and then I shall come and find you." He opened his book, closed his eyes and began to count. Princess Eliza ran outside. The most of the castle shone blue under the blue sky. She jumped into the water and turned herself into a blue fish. 98, 99, 100. The wizard opened his eyes, looked in his magic book and read, "To find where Eliza is hiding from you, look in the moat, the fish is blue." He fished Eliza out of the moat and took her to this kitchen, which was full of blue plates and pots and pans. They were all covered in dried up food. "So you like blue, do you?" he said, then set to work and wash, and he locked her in. So there she's washing all the blue plates and all the blue pans. On Tuesday morning, the wizard unlocked the kitchen door. He looked at the clean plates and pots and he grunted. "Chance number 2, he said. Then he opened his book, closed his eyes and began to count. Princess Eliza ran to the farmyard. She turned herself into a yellow chick. and she hid in some straw. But the wizard read in his book, "The straw in the farmyard is yellow and thick, Princess Eliza's, disguised as a chick." He's got a very useful book here, hasn't he? Seems to be able to find out where Eliza is. He scooped Eliza up and took her to a cupboard which was full of yellow socks. They all had holes in them, made by his pointy toenails. "So you like yellow, do you?" he said, then set off to work and darn, and he locked her in. Darn simply means just to sew the socks together. On Wednesday morning, the wizard unlocked the cupboard door, looked at the darn socks and grunted. "Chance number 3, he said, and he opened his book, closed his eyes and began to count. So there he is now, and she's on chance number 3. Princess Eliza ran to the meadow. She changed herself into a green grasshopper and hid among the grass blades. But the wizard read in his book, "The grasshopper princess is easily seen, chirping away in a meadow so green." He caught Eliza in a net and he took her to his green bathroom. The bath, basin, walls and floor were covered in the wizard's slimy toothpaste. Oh no. "So you like green, do you?" he said, then set to work and wipe, and he locked her in. And all that slimy green toothpaste. Oh dear, I wouldn't like to have to clean that, would you? Oh sorry, it's a bit sticky. 3 more days went by, and each day the princess tried to escape. On Thursday she turned herself into an orange fox and hid in a pile of orange leaves. On Friday she turned herself into a purple butterfly and she fluttered among some purple flowers. On Saturday she turned herself into a black cat and lurked in a black tunnel. But each time the wizard found her and he gave her yet more work to do. Now she thinks we had 3, did we have 3 goes? And then we've got Thursday and Friday and Saturday. That looks about 6 goes. Do you remember the girl had 7 chances to change? To escape, hopefully she will. On Sunday morning the wizard came out to the roof where Eliza had been scrubbing the sooty chimney pots. Instead of grunting, he laughed his horrible laugh. "This is your last chance," he said, "and if I catch you this time, you must stay and work with me for the rest of your life." Then he opened his book, closed his eyes, and began to count. There he is counting for the final time. Will she escape? We don't know. Princess Eliza turned herself into a white gull and flew up into a cloud. But as she hovered above the roof where the wizard was still counting, she saw the words forming on the page of his open book. "So that's how he finds me," she cried. "I shall never escape." Then she had an idea. She turned herself into a page of the wizard's book, a perfectly blank white page with no writing on it. I wonder if this will help her to escape this time. Oh. 98, 99, 100. The wizard finished counting and began to read his book. The princess turned into a bird in the sky. She hid in a cloud. Then she had one more try. That was the end of the page. The wizard turned over to read more, but there was no more. The next page in his book was blank and white, and he flew into a rage. See him there, he's very cross. "You stupid book," he shouted, and he hurled it into the moat. The book landed with a splash and it sank right to the bottom. All of the wizard's magic was gone. And there it is, right at the bottom of the moat. It's even got black swans looking blackbirds there. Maybe some crows. At that moment, in the palace, the king and queen and all the party guests came back to life. "Where is Princess Eliza?" they asked each other. Nobody knew except the fairy godmother, and she only smiled and said nothing. So she knows the secret of what's been happening to Eliza. Princess Eliza had turned herself from a white page into a blue fish and was swimming to the edge of the moat. She turned herself into a yellow chick and ran across the corn in the farmyard. She turned herself into a green grasshopper and hopped over the grass. She turned herself into an orange fox and raced through the orange leaves. She turned herself into a purple butterfly and fluttered over the purple flowers. And she turned herself into a black cat and streaked through the black tunnel. She turned herself into a white bird and flew, what's it going to say, all the way back to the palace and in through the window. She perched on a chair at the tea table and changed herself back into a princess. The king and queen and all the party guests hugged her. There they are. They're all really happy to see that the Princess Eliza is back with the party. Then Princess Eliza cut her birthday cake and everyone had a slice. So it was a really good, happy ending in the end. Again, I've never read that book before. I share them all with you at the same time, so it's new for me, new for you, maybe. And that book actually belongs to Mrs. Kennel. So thank you, Mrs. Kennel, for letting me borrow your book and sharing it with everybody. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Take care, see you soon, and have a lovely rest of your holidays. Bye.